People, deluded, I'm back again. I know you lot are probably bored during this international break, people, but I'm trying my best to keep you lot entertained. Now, allegedly, Arsenal, along with other clubs, gave evidence against Manchester City. I'm sure you would have seen this week the whole little court stuff they're going through, which is unrelated to the 115 charges. Thomas Partey has joined Kai Havertz in withdrawing from the international squad for another round of pointless international games. I just wish Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka would do that. Allegedly, a bid for Gabriel Jesus has been rejected. Whether you believe that or not is down to you, people. So yeah, smash the like button. One love for having you lot here. Let's get into business, people. Apparently, Centre Goal said new clubs who gave evidence in favour of Premier League against Manchester City over the associated party transactional rules. Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool, West Ham, Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham and Wolves. Apparently Newcastle and Chelsea essentially led to the defence for City as well, people. So we'll have to see what's going on there. Arsenal and Liverpool to escape liability for huge interest on owner loans after City legal case. This is clearly clickbait, but nonetheless, ruling declared it unlawful for borrowing from shareholders to be excluded from PSR calculations, but this will only apply to future deals. So yeah, people, we won't go into all of that, but maybe that means, you know what, people, certain clubs can't sell their hotels and their women's teams and all that kind of stuff. We'll have to see. As you would have seen a few days ago, the German Federation have been informed that Kai Havertz will be out of the upcoming games against Bosnia and Netherlands with a knee problem. He'll be assessed by Arsenal staff in the next days and won't travel with the national team. Now, do you lot believe he's actually injured, or is that a case of dark arts from Arsenal Football Club? Because he's played a lot of football. He's one of the footballers that will play a lot of football for Arsenal Football Club. He gets kicked every week, really and truly. Is fairly combative in 1v1 situations. So it wouldn't surprise me. And he's another footballer that's played a lot of football over the last 2 years for Arsenal and obviously participated at a couple competitions for their country. So he could be injured. Personally, and I hope this is the case, but I have no evidence, I think it's dark arts. I think Kai Havertz he might have a bit of a knock. His knee might not be the best, but I think he's got a bit of a knock. I think him and Arsenal said, you know what, just chill off. You can go to the one in November, just chill off for a second, little white lie, rest up, enjoy, maybe go on a short holiday with the missus and relax yourself in it, really, which is great for me. Apparently, Thomas Partey will stay at Arsenal during the international break. It's understood the Ghanaian has been suffering from illness, not an injury, so it's been agreed for him to rest after how much he's been playing. Illness? What illness? It's like when you're big up the 9 to 5. It's like when you call in sick for work and you just say I got diarrhea because you can't prove that. It probably is that from Partey. And to be fair, again, I think all of you lot will agree with me. If somebody told us in August what would happen with the injuries and all these things, especially in midfield or including Rice's suspension, if you told us out of Declan Rice, Merino, and Partey, amongst other players, Odegaard, Partey would be the one fit, we'd say you're lying. So big up Thomas Partey. I think his form's good. Obviously, every week, 1 minute, some articles come out, he's going to sign a new deal, then he's going to be sold. He's another one that needs to rest his legs, really, because the last couple of games of October, even though October's just started, it's crazy. Bournemouth might not be the biggest game on paper. That's going to be a difficult task. Preston away is going to be a difficult task. Liverpool is going to be extremely difficult. We need all the players that we've got fit to stay fit. And obviously, we need the players that are injured to get back sooner rather than later. Now, I'm not a fan of Merino arriving to join the Spanish national team. Apparently, Tomiyasu hasn't gone with Japan either. Why is Mikel Merino going with the Spanish national team? Do you lot agree with that? For me, I'm not a fan of that. I am a fan of it because it seems like he's over his shoulder injuries. It does allow him to get a bit more minutes in the legs and a bit of fitness, which indirectly helps us. I don't think he was bad against PSG or Southampton. He had some good moments, but you can see this is a man that ain't played for a while. He still looks a bit rusty. So if he could shake any of that ring rust off, I'm all for that. And obviously Arsenal's medical staff and whatnot, they've obviously declared him fit enough to be able to play with his country. But for me, I just would have loved to see you join Thomas Partey and everybody else that, and Kai Havertz just stay close to headquarters, if I'm honest. But what do I know? I'm not a physio. So yeah, Moreno, get some minutes in the legs and come and fight for your spot, because it's not a given, really and truly, that he takes Partey's spot or Declan Rice's spot. So we're going to need all our players. Apparently, Arsenal and Chelsea are reportedly looking to beat Real Madrid and Barcelona to the punch as they prepare opening bids for Santos's wondered, it says here. I think they mean Wonderkid. João Pedro came out. The 18-year-old has 2 goals and 3 assists in 29 senior appearances for Santos and has caught the eye of a number of other clubs, including Wolves and Everton. The right back has become all the more attractive following Santos's relegation to the second tier in Brazil, with the club now open to offers below his 58 million release clause in order to alleviate, apologies, I can never say that word, their financial concerns. I mean, if we see this 18-year-old as someone that could potentially bring something to the first team, will be sold for a profit, if they're able to negotiate significantly lower than his 58 million release clause, fair enough, go and get that done. We've been linked with a couple South American talents, whether we bring them in or not is a completely different thing, as you lot know, people. So we'll have to watch that. But at present, it doesn't seem that we need another right back, is what I'll say. We've been continuously linked over the last few years with Omar Mormush, and we've still been linked with him again. Apparently, we're working hard behind the scenes on potential strikers. We've recently had contacts over Jonathan David and Vlahovic, apparently Gyökeres as well, owing to some articles, people. I like what I see from Mormush. He still wouldn't be my first choice target. Apparently, he's got his heart set on either a move to Arsenal or Liverpool. Jonathan David, I'm not really the biggest. I'm going to do a video on him. I'm not really the biggest fan of his. Think he's improved, and I think considering in January he's got an asking price of 20 million, or better yet, next summer free, could it be a low risk, quote unquote, depending on his wages operation? I'm not too sure, if I'm honest with you, in that regard. Apparently, we still retain an interest in Benjamin Sesko, and Liverpool would like to upgrade on Darwin Núñez. I think everyone should stay well clear from Osimhen. Think he's a good player, but there's a reason nobody went for you and you ended up at Galatasaray. There's a reason Chelsea have more money than sense. They had enough common sense not to go for you. There's a reason, people. I don't think you look at how many games he's played, 20 plus games in a league, how many times he scored 20 plus games in a league, what his agent in terms of commission is going to want, a transfer fee, and also his wages. I just don't think it's worth it for Osimhen, if I'm honest with you. I've said that before, but I like him. Tierney is continuing to work his way back to full fitness after a hamstring injury. As we all know he doesn't have a future at the football club. Apparently an offer of 25 to 30 will be considered suitable. We'll be lucky, in my opinion, to get that. We're just gonna have to take the hit on Tierney. If Tierney was fit, you'd imagine he would have been on the bench in some capacity in the last few games. So for Tierney, just get yourself fit, put yourself in a shop window for January. Apparently, Arsenal have rejected a January offer, bearing in mind it's not January, from Palmeiras from waterway striker Gabriel Jesus. That's according to Globo Esporte, who report that the Brazilian side tabled an offer to bring the attacker back to his former club. Jesus would like to leave Arsenal, having fell well down the pecking order at the Emirates. I mean, if you want to leave, because you can. I wouldn't let him go in January, but in the summer we have to assess. You are on big wages. You're not one of the first names on the team sheet. You're not necessarily one of the first names off the bench. Yes, Gabriel Jesus has never been clinical, but we've known him to work the channels, to work hard, to just be that Gabriel Jesus of that first 6 months. But I guess the word I'm looking for is presence in the game. That hasn't been there with Gabriel Jesus, and you're in this. It's very different, but you're in the same situation you was in at City, and it is very different because this is a young emerging team. Why aren't you there? You look less confident than Ethan when he plays. Now, I sympathize with Gabriel Jesus. He's one of my favorite players. He's Brazilian and all these things, but I can't lie to you. I love my club more, and I hope you turn this around. But it's looking peak, Gabriel Jesus. As Arteta said, you changed our world. A bit like Zinchenko introduced us to that inverted left back situation, but it seems like Arsenal, I reckon, internally, and us Arsenal fans, we all knew that we were ticking on the right path. But I think nobody thought that it would accelerate this quickly, and the system's going to leave people. I'm exaggerating, but there might come a reality where the system leaves Saliba and Saka, or even Kai Havertz, which we need to bring in a striker. It's sink or swim, and Gabriel Jesus, you're not swimming, man. Like you hit it. I didn't think it could get any worse, man. You didn't have any impact against Bolton. Sterling weren't that good against Bolton, but he got a goal and assist. You didn't score against Bolton. There's no real input for that's where I get the concerns for all players. Strikers, you might go on goal droughts, you might miss tap-ins, but I look for your influence throughout 90 minutes. That ain't been there with Jesus. And yeah, you could, he's had injuries, his confidence probably on the floor, hasn't been given a run of games. All of these things are very true, all play a part. But realistically, how are you going to get a chance? As harsh as it is, you have to take your chances with your occasional start when Arteta feels to freshen things up, or that occasional 20 minutes. I'm not going to quite write you off right now, but I believe the writing's on the wall. So with that being said, people, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. On that note, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.
always just going to attack when like defenders.
I think it's like